significant is taking place, but today is the day when he turns 28 years of age. Born in 1960 at 9:35 p.m. And here is Stephen today, hard at work at his task of running these tremendous businesses, the Berkeley Muffler Shop, the Bumper to Bumper Shop, and the Doors Elect there, and also running a young family, as well as a significant interest in the hair salon, a beauty salon with Katie's wife. So here we are. How you feel today, Stephen?
28.
You feel like 28, do you?
Yes.
I forget that how I felt at 28. Hey, Ben. A lot of things can happen in 28 years, hey, Ben? Anyway, we'll take some more later on today when we have some sort of a party to celebrate the occasion. So back to work, Stephen. Don't straighten your back today, you've got a lot of work to do. Well, it's Ben's birthday today, and Stephen had a birthday too, last a day or so back, so we're celebrating a lot together. And to make the whole thing all the better, Des and Eileen and family are back here with us again, and we're going to have a lovely dinner now. So tuck in, folks.
Mum's going to sit next to dear old Georgia, so she doesn't have a fit.
Yes, it is. What are you sitting? You're sitting this table or the other table?
I'm trying to sit over there. She always sits here.
Did you have a good holiday, kids?
Yep.
My word.
Yes, thank you.
How was the mouse house?
Right.
Was it?
Yep.
Plenty of rain up there?
Yep.
Did you see those crayfish this time, Betty?
Yep. We were fishing. I caught a big one.
Oh.
They go for curry.
They're the easiest things to catch. They just hook onto the piece of ham or whatever. We just use the rind off the ham.
Just tie on a bit of cotton string or something?
Yeah. And they grab on and hang on. They hang on even when you draw them out of the water.
Go on, eh? How big are they? How long? Big blueies. You're starting to tell me now, are they protected, you say?
Protected species.
Oh, you didn't sound like you're observing that particular restriction.
No, you have to put them back, Dad, or?
No, they're very much like the conventional, the old crayfish that put out the dams, but they're blue and white, vivid blue and white. And they have, on each leg, they have nippers. And like the ordinary crays, they're too big. This has got 6 or 8 legs, I've never got around the cannon, but each leg has a triangle set of nippers. And not only, and then in the front, have the 2 big ones, and then they have 2 little ones, 2 little nippers.
It's your birthday, Ben.
Under the...
Your birthday today, love.
No, really?
He doesn't
Right,
know too much
okay.
about it.
So,
They have nippers with their sleeves.
so they have something in common.
But it's a wonder that there's a creek deep enough to hold them up there so high in altitude.
Yeah, I did.
That's what amazes me. I imagine it's running very fast and these small creeks running...
Yep, they are. They're running very fast, very strongly. Well, we would have had 3 or 4 inches of rain up there, I suppose, and next morning it's about another foot wider. But it's only a small mountain stream.
Whereabouts is this?
Yeah.
Whereabouts, with respect to the Furlingbrook Falls, was up there one time years ago. Is anyone near there?
Yeah, it's higher than that.
Isn't it?
Yeah, the same system, artesian system, sub-artesian system.
Springbrook.
Yeah, would feed those falls.
Oh, yeah.
You can bear in mind that they're about 2,500 feet above sea level.
Did you see the natural lights this time?
That's the story.
Oh, that's
We
a
got
bit...
within about 200 yards of it and it started to pour rain and we didn't have our rain patch. So we kept going.
Did you catch any of the cats and dogs?
No, they don't have cats and dogs.
He's tucking in, having a good... Whoa, what nonsense. Oh, all right. Matter of the birthday cake is on the forefront of things now, and Ben is eager to go. But it takes a little bit of preparation, of course, first. He's got 2 candles properly set up on his cake. And the Ben is eager to have a crack at that cake. It's too nice to hang around and watch it.
Lay your candle there. You might come in here, darling. Here you go, man. And Georgia, I mean. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Benjamin. Happy birthday to you. Look in the face. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hooray.
Hey, Ben.
Long man,
Oh, let's hook into it now, we said.
Trying to pull the card here, right there.
Whoa, Mum.
Yeah, it's good idea.
Where's my man?
That's a nice ball to hang that on, huh?
No, well, look at that little car too. Right on top of the case, another one's going on. Hey!
It's pretty great. Georgia blows me.
Getting all the sound there?
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Here comes the... Oh!
Yeah, well,
This is the little overpass bridge that
This is the Gateway Bridge, I think, isn't it?
had a bit of a collapse. It's supposed to be like that.
who made the cake? Oh, Mark said.
We're going to cut it. Want a bit of cake?
You'd like a piece? Sure, I had a cake organised that for
We
you.
watch it on TV later.
Yeah,
Okay. Who wants a bit of cake?
everybody wants a bit of cake.
Who first?
Hey, look at the bonnet came up done.
Georgia?
Yes.
There you go.
I tell you what, he's getting some on the outside of his face where I was inside, isn't he?
There, Georgia.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. Thanks, Steve.
What?
Hey, thanks, Uncle
You want
Stephen.
this one? Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. Just some sauces, mate.
Walking around the truck, no, there's a ditchy. There's a jump now, Ben, look at that.
Alright.
Yeah, look at this.
Here, Dom, I'll catch a bit of cake, mate.
He jumped.
Alright, Mommy? You okay? There you go. Dom?
Oh, yes, thanks.
Bit of cardboard there.
Look at him go, man.
Oh, he's getting bombed. Smarty.
Hey, Dom?
Thanks. Me? Smarty? Oh, that's
Yourself, how's that?
Georgia just popped off. He was thinking, it looks as if he was missing out.
Yum.
Georgia, is that all right? Hey? Pretty good, eh?
You want a bit of your cake, Ben?
A bit of oyster card.
You want some cake, Ben? Now to catch a bit, huh? There you go.
Those cards, that's good, huh?
We'll go and get them.
He's missing his cars. Tell you what, it looks very much like as if Ben's going to be in the...
The thing about it was that the difficulty I found with it at the time was to try and figure out what's the significance of it. Now when I see Bob talking about it a lot, in this article that Warwick gave me, you see, the way he interprets it to be that a good part of the intellectual structure of the country is focused around it, which means the emphasis is upon materialism, where there's no admission of a spiritual dimension to it. So a lot of the argument that comes up with regard to IVF and the like is based on this nihilism, which says there's no value. You constitute value. And it brings me back to a point that I remember reading a long time ago, a commentary on the document on sexual ethics. It said the fundamental struggle in the world today has to do with how you conceive the notion of being as a metaphysical term. Either you conform yourself to being, or you create being by your will. See, with the traditional Thomistic understanding has always been, we say reality is external to us. When we come into the world and we come to the age of reason, we appropriate and receive information external to us, and we conform ourselves to it in various terms. And we will that as having received it from externals.
There's a word in German, isn't there? Doppelungsstörung, which is the way that you look at the whole of the world, life, philosophy, all encompasses one world with doing it here, but we don't have anything with saying this at all.
Yeah.
The 5 years of the life in his family. The first book anyway.
I've never read much about it. Well, that from that position, there's the opposite, which says nothing exists except what I create. And there are two different philosophies in that. There's a Kantian Descartes approach that says there's a priori categories, and I constitute reality by my willing and my thinking. I think a thing, and I will it, and it is what it is. Like we say, this building doesn't exist except that I make it. But the point is that when you apply that to ethics, it is then, well, whatever I think, whatever I come up with, that then is seen to be morality.
It means if you're insane, what you yourself think is that reality is reality. Right, exactly.
See, I had a very senior...
They must have been a bit like that in the Tower of Babel. They all thought they were right.
They constructed the way they wanted to go. I was talking to a very senior man in the diocese the other day, and he couldn't make a distinction. He lost the distinction between subjective and objective. And I was really intrigued by that, because when you talk about people, there's different levels at which you come to understand, but at the common sense level, most people in a more reasoned moment would agree there's an objective and a subjective.
Well, that's the objective truth.
Well, this is what the argument is in theory anyway. There is no such thing as objective truth.
Columbus held that the world is round, and yet there was so likely to America the trees that it was. At that time it was held that almost everybody wasn't the world wasn't around, it was flat.
Had to establish the right.
Have you ever discovered anybody that still believes the world is flat? There is an organisation. Well, I did. What? I did. Yeah. And they were very persuasive. I said, how? I said, well, I'll tell you what, you must be an awful lot of strife. And you, when you get in an aeroplane. And now, because a few years back I left Sydney, went to Germany to transfer on to England, down in the United States, and then finished up back in Sydney again. We went all the way around, so it's very hard for me now, except that the world is flat. Yeah. I've flown right around it. So I put it to this person, I said, now, it was a woman actually, very nice woman at that too. I know what you're going to say, she says, but I still believe the world is flat. I said, well, if you get in an aeroplane or a boat, you set out, go due east, say, from Sydney, and keep going that way, and dodge the islands in between, you'll eventually come back.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I think Newman said it rather well. He said, everybody knows Britain exists, but you try and prove it.
That's right.
We know it's there. Most skeptics say, oh, it's this and that. Say, oh, yeah. Well, then you start to prove it, and then it's a lot harder. That's
I've asked the question different ones. Now, you know what air is, don't you? You know what water is. Now, I said, if somebody from an alien planet came on this earth and never saw those things, experienced those things, how would you explain to them what water was? Or what air was? The physical characteristics, say. How they recognise air or water.
it's tea will get cold. We must come back
Right.
to practicum reality. This is what it's called, coming back to earth.
Well, gentlemen, we'll adjourn for the moment.
Well, that's right. Pre-driven cellular fracture for tea. Another one I saw down in Melbourne was pre-used. Pre-used. One owner. And the sort of positions they get cars in. If they're not showing the left-hand rear, right rear, they're showing the front, you know, the skirt up here, the bonnet up there, and it's sort of at weird angles. You sort of driving on like, God, is that a car? Oh, I'll tell you something I did see. It was a real highlight. Was you know those character in People? You know that pub, the Adamuga or Edamuga?
Yeah.
Edamuga pub. I saw it. I went inside and I actually touched the Edamuga pub. Oh, there. On the Hume Highway, they've got this building. This character decided he owned the winery next door, and he decided he wasn't getting enough custom in the place. So he'd always had this idea that he wanted to construct something else to be like the Adamuga pub. So he got onto the character who drew the thing in the original place. It was a policeman. And he got him to come down, and they worked out these plans. And as sure as I'm sitting here, the pub is built like that. It's built like that, literally.
Isn't there a car on top too or something?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they've got that funny looking couch hanging out.
Absolutely, the whole thing. Well, it's on his land. It's miles out of Albury. It's about a half-hour drive to the north of Albury.
It's not a license car.
Oh yes, totally. But there it was. It's got a section right at the back for barbecues, and it's brand spanking new. But as the years go on, oh, it's unbelievable. They actually had to went to a lot of trouble to get the angle like that, literally. But it's virtually like that all the way down.
It's like some sort of a pagoda style thing.
Yeah, it's got a. Well, so when they asked, they were telling a story about when he asked the creator of the comic strip to help in the building of it. He asked him, what did the rooms look like inside? And the fellow said, I don't know. He said, I've never drawn the inside rooms. He said, well, sit down and draw it. So they've got right in the middle of the bar this whopping great big tree trunk. And on this tree trunk are all these stickers. People have left their cards. So you'll be sitting up there, and next thing you see a big tourist bus pull in. All these tourists get out, and you can see it a mile away. It's bright yellow with a red roof, and there's trucks sitting on the top. The Adamuga pub. I said, look, I just have to go upstairs. They said, you're going to see the Adamuga pub? I said, what are you talking about? I had no idea what they were talking about. I said, this is it. So he flipped over the people and he said, look, here's the Adamuga pub. I said, you must be kidding. There's no such thing as that's such a fairy tale in someone's imagination. No. It actually exists. We're going. So down we headed up to the Adamuga pub. Well, I'm glad I was.
And the windows, are they rectangle or square?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're not sort of not angles either, eh?
Well, they're shaped like that.
Right.
Along the side, there's no windows on the side, it's just the front and back.
Have they got some of those weird characters walking around? You know, those funny looking fellas?
No.
Nothing like that.
Rabbit burrows all around the front yard.
Rabbit traps all over.
Well, they've got out in the front, this bit of a tin arrangement, and it says dog. And they've got this bit of a stuff-looking character sitting in the thing. And they've got the little funny signs in that type of writing, you good on your mate or something like that, pointing this way or move this or don't touch that or whatever. You know, it was really well done. Where was it from? Then after we'd been there, what we did, we went out to Drage's air show. Drage's air show's on the same route, but it's down a bit further, the other side of Albury actually, on the northern side of Albury, and it's got an extraordinary range of aircraft. Really well worth seeing. That was the one that had the great fight with the council about as to whether the funds would be mismanaged.
just on the circuit for air shows every year. Hello.
You ought to know by now that you're going to get your photo taken, you've got to keep on going.
Smile, Mum.
Why is it my camera?
Don't take me, I'm not supposed to get it.
Yeah,
Yes, you are.
The next year.
yeah, right. Take her out to your superstructure.
Take me in back and you outfit. See, Ben? I think my new outfit didn't notice. I did notice, I found last year. And they're hard and yeah, for everyone.
The other day, I was just, walking on the street, and all the beers drank out of tin mugs.
Come on, over here.
Sit down, sit down.
I'm hardly going.
All going.
These backmen, if I had a dog, I'd train him to sketch them black fellas. So, oh, come on, you wouldn't.
But this was a dark fella talking
This
himself.
is the black deacon. This is the black deacon, you see, 3 sheets into the wind. And he said, they're getting more money than you, and they're laughing at you. Yes, that's true. And he says, you work in with the local black organisations around here. You get a black fella come to the door, you tell him, get! I'll get my dog on you. Make sure it's sitting there thinking, he's joking. He's serious, but he's 3 sheets and he's... I'm telling you, if a black fella comes to see me looking for a handout, I say, what you want it for?
Mine's earrings, she's got them on.
Did you get your social service?
You want
Social
to
security?
put the earrings on yet for a little...
You not getting your social security? You get nothing from me. Get! And we're all sitting there. God, that's a bit rubber, you know. But he was saying, they're laughing at you. They take you for the ride completely. Dog is thinking. He's come on. We're thinking to ourselves, what the hell have we got to do to take this seriously though? Don't give them nothing. They're doing all right. You're ruining my people. So it's just all very nice for me. We'll cup of tea after and shake his hand. But now, about a month later, black fella broke into the place and knocked all of our stuff off. So, well, no, I was so scared. I came in. I was sitting in the toilet, you see, and I heard these steps up the, footsteps up the stairs, and I was saying, "That you, Tam? That you on?" Well, I come to the door, and I stand at the door like they do, you know. And I jumped in the doorway, look under the bed and everything, and I tippy-toe man, put tiny man, what the hell is it? So I go downstairs, step around the corner, and then meanwhile I picked up a big piece of stick.
What is that?
My heart's beating like this, I think. There's someone around here, I know he is, he knows he is. I came to the front reception area, and I just had a look around, and there he was. He was just sitting there. So I walked up to him. What the hell are you doing here? Oh. Go on, get out of here. I went to the front door and opened the strip back, plastered him about this far, and he said, and he just walks out and said, "Who do you think you are, Jesus Christ?" I said, "I could be. Get your act in and get down the road, I'll get the cops on." So he goes down the road. Anyway, no more worry about it, thought this is just okay. The next day, we discovered, you know, we'd been in the parish priest's office, knocked off his purse with all his credit cards in, couldn't find any of this. Found some stuff over in the church, he'd been in and out again. So anyway, decided, oh, what the hell will we do about it? So we got the cops around, they brought around a big book with all these things, and I sort of recognised it. So they went and picked 2 or 3 of these fellows up. So they brought this fellow around, and is this the fellow? Oh, I couldn't be sure. I went away and got another fellow. They said, for sure this fellow's here. And I said, oh, well, he looks like I think.
He's black.
Right, so anyway, eventually all came down. They took him down to the police station. They had a black welfare worker come along to be present at the interview, and blow me down, they decided then they'd charge him. And we pressed with the charges. So anyway, they had this interview, and then the hearing in the local court under Stipendiary magistrate in the first instance. So I went on, and I was sitting up in the witness box for 3/4 of an hour giving this testimony. They just then decided then to contest it. So 8 or 9 months later, we're down in Townsville. Judge, jury, the full catastrophe, and we're all sitting up there going through this. Well, anyway, we went through all the different witnesses were called, one thing and another. They had me in the witness box for an hour and a half. Anyway, the character who was the legal aid counsel for the accused.
Aboriginal legal aid.
Yeah, he was there, and oh, he was a nasty piece of work.
Was he Aboriginal too, or was he what?
No, what not. But anyway, he decided he'd put me through the grill. So they had all these photographs, and the prosecutor was asking me these questions, and every question he said, "You're leading the witness." Objection, leading the witness. By this time, the judge is starting to get very cold. He's getting annoyed with this character. Eventually, he had his turn at asking me these questions, and he said, "I suggest to you that you put the whole thing up with the officers concerned, and that you've made this all up." I said, "No, that's not true. I suggest to you that you saw this particular witness in the building, and you've now concluded that he's stolen something when he was there for legitimate purposes." Well, that could have been the case, but no, it isn't. And his assistant, he said, "Could you describe to me the height of the accused?" At this stage, we didn't admit that he was black or anything, just the accused. So eventually we got it. He said, "Perhaps you could stand up and describe his about height in reference to your own." I said, "Oh, well, about that height. Perhaps if we get the accused to come down, at this stage the judge said, no, this line of questioning is there's no point in it." And the judge eventually said to him, "Well, how close were you when you passed from the front room to go out the front door?" I said, "Oh, less than 18 inches, just from about here to there." The witness may sit down, and do you have any further questions? So anyway, eventually they got the policemen in there, and they grilled them something shocking. Really impugned their character and everything. It ended up, this character he was charged on 3 counts: breaking into the church, breaking into the presbytery, breaking into the convent. On the charge of the church, he was acquitted. Charge of breaking the convent, he was acquitted, but he was found guilty on the charge of breaking the presbytery. They had thought they'd get him on 2 charges and get 12 months probation. As it was, conviction on breaking the presbytery got 2 years probation. So the policeman said to me later on, you know, they were quite happy about it.
Yeah.
But what I couldn't get over was, as I was coming down from the courtroom, the character outside the prosecution fellow said to me, "Just take this slip downstairs to the counsel." I said, "What for?" He said, "They'll pay you."
Oh, your witness experience.
Yeah. "Paid me?" I said, "Yeah." So I go down, I got the princely sum about $90.
Is it?
I couldn't believe it for all the actors I had.
How many years of travelling?
Oh, they were all sitting there very listening to me. They said, "Could you be absolutely 100% sure this is the man?" I said, "No, I can't."
They all look alike.
No, I said, "I can distinguish. I know the distinction. I've had a bit of black people. I can make distinctions." But I said, "I can't say 100% sure this is absolutely the man." Well, apparently that my answer to that seems to be the one thing that it was beyond a reasonable doubt that he was the man. Yeah. You know, if I'd have said for sure and certain 110%, it would have sounded as if it was fabricated. Because it was too.
He was oversold.
The Crown fellow said to me later, he said, "Look, would you like to be a witness in several of my cases?" He said, "Very convincing." This character's got this truckload of these what do you call it, crackers and, you know...
Fireworks. Bangers. Bonbons.
Nothing like it. He sets them off. As they're bringing all this guy's going to set them off on a regular basis. Going off. Boom! Meanwhile, all the dogs in town are taking off everything. Not a dog free. The kids are there when they first hear this. The kids go, and then it's all quiet and think, oh, it's all very good. Boom! It's unbelievably loud. Meanwhile, they bring the trolley out. Viva Antonio! Santa! Viva Antonio! They're shouting at Tom. No, like there's not. I can't not. So in the meantime, there's 3 or 4 guys standing up on these uprights around it, and they've got little bags tied on the side. And you give them money. So you give them money. So the bigger the amount of money, the bigger the shout. So if you give $20, Viva San Antonio! $50, Viva San Antonio! $100, Viva San Antonio! Santa! Santa! Give $1,000, well, let's go on and on and on. Well, they go on and on with this.
Where's the money go, Carl?
In the bag, but eventually when they collect it all, well, they pour it back into the shrine again. So they build bigger and bigger buildings, bigger and bigger show. As they're driving down the roadway, you see all these characters got all these marble things. You've never seen so much marble. You thought there was marble in the quarry. Look, these are all the marble the quarries ever was because there's stuff everywhere. They're shined up and they're selling it at the most ridiculous prices. Anyway, they take off down the street and there's a big procession and they're singing and going on. But all the time they're singing, Viva San Antonio.
What's that?
Hail to San Antonio. So anyway, for years it's been the case, around about the time when they hold it, it's usually horn, cats and dogs everywhere. So, anyhow, this year I was up there, they decided for the sake of the pilgrims to the place, they put up this big marquee. Wouldn't you know it? See, usually what they did, it'd be raining and drizzling all the time, and then when they bring Viva San Antonio, bring out San Antonio and the Tres Santi, the rain had stopped, without a shadow there. You'd hear the rain coming across the cane. and it stopped. Down the street they go, praying away. As soon as they bring the Tres Santi inside, down the door go again. You think you laugh, you think it doesn't, but you have to see it to believe it. Anyway, lo and behold, this time they put the year I was there, they put the big marquee up. Bring the Tres Santi up, and it didn't stop raining. Oh, no. I got the official explanation by the committee. Sant Antonio do not work the miracle because we're not to believe in him. The marquee is the problem. No marquee no more. Oh, yeah. Because you put the marquee up, the conclusion was San Antonio says, why do you want me the miracle? You've got the marquee, so you don't need the miracle. Oh, big shame. No faith, see. They went down the road, it stopped for a brief one, they went down the rain, and went down the road, and it started to drizzle. Well, you should have seen them bolt back with it, because the top of this thing is just made of cloth, and it's with gold on it, see, to get the great stain on it, the end thing. So they're running. Meanwhile, they're all shouting, Viva San Antonio! Somebody's gone! Yeah, they hand up the children about George's side, and they hold the kid up to kiss the statue. And if you happen to have a nice pendant or something, they put it on the statue. That's it. You don't get it back.
You know not to wear any pendants.
That's right. You can put it up there. So you see these statues rather long.
Imagine mine.
Top along the dress. Well, I tell you what, I couldn't get over it. I was really shocked though, because people came from everywhere to this confounded thing. And they had the mass going on meanwhile over in the little chapel at the side. People walking in and out all the time. The priest saying, Italian, saying the mass, and people are coming in and out. They say, no, I mean, we're used to the British way, absolutely. But Solomons and shit. No. Well, they're coming in and out. Oh, commune. So they're all just walking straight into the commune, come out again, you know, you were saying something.